The title of the story is The King's Fast. Long ago, in the kingdom of Aram, there ruled a powerful and wealthy king named Josiah. He was known for his wisdom and justice. But over the years, his heart had grown proud. His palace was filled with gold. His tables overflowed with food, and his name was feared across the land. Yet, despite his riches, he felt an emptiness he could not explain. One day, an old prophet arrived at the gates of the palace. His robe was torn, his feet were dusty, and his eyes held a deep, knowing light. The king, curious about the stranger, invited him to his grand hall for a feast. But as servants placed plates of roasted meat and fine wine before him, the prophet did not eat. Instead, he looked at the king and said, "O king, you have fed your body but starved your soul. Have you ever fasted?" The king laughed. "Why should I fast? I have everything I need." The prophet smiled and replied, "A man who never hungers never knows the sweetness of bread, and a man who never empties himself will never be filled with God." The words troubled Josiah. That night, he could not sleep. He gazed at his wealth, his banquets, his treasures, and saw them for what they truly were: temporary, fleeting. The next morning, he made a decree. For 40 days he would fast, not only from food, but from pride, luxury, and excess. He would eat only what the poorest in his kingdom ate, wear simple robes, and serve those in need. At first, the fast was unbearable. Hunger gnawed at him, and his body grew weak. But as the days passed, something changed. His heart, once heavy with pride, became light with humility. He saw the suffering of his people, the hunger of the widows, the pain of the orphaned, and for the first time, he did not just rule his people, he loved them. On the 40th day, he walked through the streets in simple clothes, handing out bread to the poor. He found himself kneeling before a blind beggar, placing a piece of bread in his hands. The beggar grasped his fingers and said, "Blessed is the king who learns to be a servant." Tears welled in Josiah's eyes. The fast had changed him, not just in body, but in spirit. He had emptied himself of pride and had been filled with God's grace. From that day forward, King Josiah ruled with a heart of humility, and his kingdom flourished, not because of his wealth, but because of his faith. And every year, on Ash Wednesday, he would don the simplest of robes, kneel in the dust, and remember the lesson that had saved his soul. If you like this short story, don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you.